Between 1940 and 2000s, American science fiction films became one of the most popular and influential movie genres. These films told stories about space travel, robots, aliens, time machines, and advanced technology. What made them important was how they reflected real fears and questions people had at the time, like war, nuclear weapons, government control, or the future of humanity. These movies gave people a way to think about big issues through exciting and imaginative stories. The genre also helped bring new ideas and effects to filmmaking. It introduced new ways to show action, create suspense, and explore real-world themes. American science fiction films were shaped by major events in U.S. history. In the 1940s and 1950s, World War II had just ended, and the U.S. was the only country to use atomic bombs. This made people fear nuclear war, especially as tensions rose with the Soviet Union. These fears appeared in sci-fi films through stories about complete destruction and powerful weapons. In the Cold War years, many Americans were afraid of communism, spying, and losing personal freedoms. These ideas showed up in films where humans were secretly replaced or controlled, symbolizing fear of losing individuality.
Hey Gwen, you want some coffee?
No thanks. How about a beer?
Yeah, right. Hey, I got a full house.
That's good, Lewis.
Must be my lucky day.
As the space race began in the 1960s, the US competed with the Soviet Union to reach the moon. Sci-fi films followed this interest in space and imagined what life might be like on other planets, even including some alien invasions where they took over people, again connecting back to spies and communism. In the 1970s and 1980s, computers and machines were becoming more common. This made people wonder what would happen if technology became too smart or too powerful. That's when films like started asking deeper questions about the future.
I'll be back.
One of the most famous science fiction films from this time is The Terminator, directed by James Cameron and released in 1984, as well as Terminator 2, released in 1991. The movie is about a cyborg, half robot, half human, sent from the future to kill Sarah Connor, a woman whose future son will fight against the machines. In the future, artificial intelligence has taken control, causing a nuclear war and trying to wipe out the human race. This film reflects fears that were real in the US during the 1980s. Americans were concerned about rising technology, job loss from these machines, and threat of another nuclear conflict. The Cold War was still going on, and people were still afraid that a single mistake would start a nuclear war. The movie also deals with issues like personal freedom, human survival, and how much power we should give to technology. The Terminator used advanced visual effects for its time and became a major hit, starting a series of sequels and helping science fiction become a major part of American film. American sci-fi films from 1940 to 2000s had a strong impact on both culture and history. They reflected the fears of different time periods: 1950s nuclear war shaped by the atomic bomb and the Cold War, 1960s and 70s loss of freedom and identity during civil rights struggles and political scandals like Watergate. In the 1980s and 90s, fear of technology, job loss, and global war during the rise of computers and at the end of the Cold War. As the US explored space and built new machines, science fiction turned these events into stories that captured people's attention. Even the plot of The Terminator, a nearly unstoppable machine coming back in time, can be seen as a warning about America's growing power in technology and how that power might be used or misused. The genre remains important today because it tells us not just about what people imagined, but what they feared and hoped for, based on what was really happening in the country at the time.
Hasta la vista, baby.